Good evening, race fans. How are we all doing? Welcome along to your Thursday night helping of some serious sim racing. It's FRL's GT4 Mini Cup. My name is John Wright, aka Double O Raven. It's my great pleasure to be bringing you. It's the final round. It could not be closer at the top. Here we go. It is, as I say, the final round of what has been a 3-round competition. The GT4 strutting their stuff at Donington Zolder. And this evening, as we have seen, a very sunny Laguna SECA. It's short, it's tight, it's twisty. And the tyres on these cars, well, they could be in for a bit of punishment, that is for sure. Let me just see if I can get that working. There we go. The championship standings, as I mentioned, could not be closer. Thomas Knopek and Benjamin Eck, only 5 points separate them at the top of the table. Andre Verona has seen himself on the podium, but with 3 penalty points as well. Finds himself in 6th place. That's how close it is. Just ahead of him, John Beaton in 5th with Victor Abramov. 4th and 5th, 77 points. Alex Zakdal in 3rd. 5th and 4th, 77 points. And Andre Verona that I mentioned, Melker Garby on the same points there as well. And a quick look further down the table, we can see not only Verona, but yeah, Luke Wilson was one that I wanted to mention. 17th place, he's finished in the top 10. And also Nikolai Polyakov there in 8th place, 58 points, but 2nd place in race 1, 18th in race number 2. Not too shabby behind the wheel of a GT4, definite contender for a podium this evening. Leading the charge though in the championship and out on the grid at the moment, it is Thomas Knopek, and we've got the slideshow on a little bit early. Sneak preview of things to come here at FRL. And yeah, sneak preview of what's to come out on track. The top 2 in the championship separated by less than a 10th and a half. Knopek and Eck leading the way. A half-second gap back to Zakdal, who's got Polyakov in the Maserati just about to cross the line. He's got time for another couple of laps, as all the drivers do in the F1 means racing machine. Maserati up in the top 5, just ahead of Beaton there in 5th position. Zakdal up to 3rd place. Very nice livery as well, we saw that in the Latifi hub. You've absolutely got to love the sense of humour that sim racers have got. That is a very, very good one indeed. But yeah, Polyakov winds up for another run at a lap. This will be his final one. Abramov that we mentioned in the opening, 6th place at the minute. Polyakov up 0.2 of a second. So too is Bilatsev. We will try and get a rundown of the field. Absolutely stacked this evening. 36 drivers taking part in tonight's event and around a track like Laguna Seca. That is going to be very close for the entirety of the race. We'll see a few more drivers cross the line. I'm just going to very quickly fix some technical things in the background, hopefully. He says confidently. Yep, we can have that, and we'll have that. Yep, let's do that. Perfect. Good evening again to everyone in the chat. Hope you're looking forward to tonight's race. If you are watching on a PC, starting in there, just looking at the times coming in, there's quite a few making improvements actually. But yeah, you can ramp up to 2K. We do have 5.1 surround sound as well. So do turn those speakers up and enjoy the engine sounds. We don't use chase cam often, obviously, but there really is no arguing with the sound of some of these cars. There we go. For all the audiophiles out there, ooh, Burger King. I know what I'm having for my tea now. Thomas Nopek. He looks like he's having pole positions, less than a tenth behind Polyakov. Has just jumped back to the pits. So no improvement there. Wilson is still out on track. We did rush through a bit. Just a quick reminder, it is another 45-minute race this evening for the drivers with mandatory refuelling with a fixed refuel time. So 25 seconds will be the bare minimum that the drivers will spend in the pits. Wilson across the line stays in 17th position. So yeah, one mandatory pit stop for the drivers to take this evening. Tyres are optional. We'll see what the track temperature does. But I don't imagine we'll see too many tyre changes. We will see though. Thomas Nopek, as we can see up at the top, they're taking purple in sector 3, but it's 1 and 2. They go the way of Benjamin Eck. He still finds himself though behind championship leading Nopek. Abramov, Zakdal on row 2 with Polyakov and Beaton on row 6. Verona and Krasnov there in 8th place. Sakun and Biletsviev in 10th place. Bugarin and Artemko on row 6 with Dreik and Garby on row 7. Jones, Hugo, Wilson, Thompson, Feltz and Hill rounding out the top 20. As we can see, just behind Hill, we've got Brown and Lazarevich. With Redhead and Kolpiev in 23rd and 24th. Kucharenko in 25th with Barino and Kal in 26th and 27th. Longdon and Ramirez find themselves on row 14 and 15 respectively, with Baharmanesh in 30th position, rounding out the front 15 rows of the 36 car grid. Tenorio and Brunel, the organiser himself, row 16 with Stewart and Kowalski in 33rd and 34th place. Moody and Emmanuelson 35th and 36th position. What I'm going to do, just so we can, I'm just very quickly going to fix something again, because sometimes broadcast software does not want to do what it's supposed to. So let us so yeah, we will get started very shortly. Sorry, I'm just trying to there we go. So we'll get a quick run, get a rundown of the full grid. Did finally manage to get up and running, get a good look at the liveries as well. There's going to be a lot of well, actually I don't think there's going to be a lot of brake warming. The drivers are jamming on the brakes. 35 degrees, so even in the GT4s it shouldn't be too difficult to get those tyres up to PSI, that all important magic number. You can't just be a racer on ACC, you need to be a bit of an engineer as well. And these GT4s certainly put that massively to the test. The cars themselves, the big difference of course, GT3 cars are about 80 to 90% race car, 10% road car. That's why manufacturers make the crazy insane 400-500 brake horsepower cars that they do. GT4s on the other hand, 80% road car, 20% race car. Yep, chuck a splitter and the spoiler on, some race seats and some decent brakes, and away you go. So they are a lot less susceptible to aerodynamic. I was going to say aerodynamic damage. They're certainly less susceptible to aerodynamics as well. So the drivers will have a fair old handful this evening. This is an absolute track of the god. It can be a driver's delight or demise. Built way back when in the middle of no place. Even to this day, there's never been an overnight race at Laguna Seca. They don't have the facilities for the floodlighting. So yeah, very much stayed the same since its inception back in 1957. 2.2 miles with, of course, that corner. Oh yes, it's the corkscrew. We'll jump back up to Luke Wilson. Let's jump up to the race leader, though. It is Thomas Nopek. Now is looking to bring home a championship. He will be closely followed by his closest rival, Benjamin Eck. Some more battles going on down through the field as well. Verona looking for a good race here tonight. Polyakov as well. He's already had one podium this season. Could we see him up there for a second? There's going to be a lot of action going on. We've got a Mercedes to listen to. I mean, even the GT4 sounds like the absolute gods. You've got to love it. Enough of my audio obsession. Let's get back up to the front. And there it is, green lights, foot down, flat out, and we are flying with Thomas Nopek. He is away and running, and he's left Benjamin Eck through turn number 1 in a difficult position. Oh, almost contact there. They're going to concertina into the Andretti hairpin. It's going to be Thomas Nopek with a very good getaway, and a whole lot of side-by-side in the background. Positions are going to change hands rapidly. A couple of drivers off track. Polyakov finds himself in a major battle at the minute. Look at the cars that he's got behind him at the moment. We've got all the action down into turn number 4. They're still making their way through they're all through the Andretti hairpin now. Oh, and that's a big run wide for the Ginetta. The Ginetta off track. Is that Brown? I think that might be Brown. Redhead had a good start as well. Tenerio, another driver with a good start. So much going on. They've all had an absolutely incredible start. Moody down at the back of the field in the BMW. He's within 2/10 of the cars ahead. It's still Thomas Nopek leading the way. He's going to be the first car into the corkscrew and the first car out again, the Mustang, on home soil, looking very good in the opening stages. Nikolai Polyakov really putting the pressure now onto Alex Zagdal. Zagdal runs wide on the exit to the corkscrew. He's going to find himself losing 2 for 1 there as Abramov is going to say thank you very much on the outside of turn 10. Oh no, he's going to leave himself over to John Beaton. Beaton getting a look in the last corner, and Sakun, another Aston Martin driver, finding himself in a very good position, and something is broken on the cameras. Why is that on the front splitter? Apologies, that should be on the front wheel. But the Aston Martin anyway, sorry, into the Andretti hairpin. Oh, heavy on the brakes. Oh, heavy on the brakes. That was very nearly contact there. Nopek still ahead of Benjamin Eck. Well, I've seen a car come into the pits. Oh, and one running wide through the Andretti hairpin. More overtakes taking place as Kucherenko finds himself tumbling down the order. A run wide through the Andretti hairpin. Even I'm struggling to keep up with everything that's going on. A run wide through the Andretti hairpin has seen him lose a handful of positions, and it might be another one as Aston Martin looks for a good run round the outside at the turn number 5, sorry, on the Rahal straight. Not to be. There is Wilson in and out of the pits with an early pit stop. Alan Brown in the pits. Still stationary. Wilson on his way back out again. There is Givo Barino. Another driver has had a good start to the race, up 5 places. Tenerio up 7 with Bieletsiev, the driver. He is in Ginetta for the try-harder team. He really is going to need to do some serious try-harding. He's down 18th position, and Krasnov as well, one of the drivers caught out at the start. There wasn't many incidents, but certainly Krasnov I think if I can grab this, here we go, let's get a look and see. Yeah, so through turn number 1, all is fine for Krasnov. He suddenly finds himself with the car ahead, given everything that's going on. Looks for the run into the Andretti hairpin. Oh, he's wider than he would like to be there. He's moved. Ah, that's just unfortunate. 3 wide on the inside and then takes a double tag. Almost gets completely rotated back to the right direction. He now finds himself under serious pressure from Emanuelson. And in fact, no, that's Kowalski. He's just got the overtake done on Kowalski. My apologies. Krasnov is ahead. That will update momentarily. We've got another yellow flag. Artemenko. Oh, and he's looking for one round the outside if he can. Oh no, sorry, on the inside line. That's Garvey that he's trying to make the move on, and he's managed to defend him off. Garvey now finding himself under serious pressure as Marcus Hugo also getting overtaken there. As Byron Thompson for Prosport. Oh, we've got a driver running wide through turn number 6. We're going to potentially have a 2 wide into, or maybe a 3 wide. This is going to be fun in the Corsa. Oh, they've made it through very nicely there indeed. Oh no, just as I say, that one car does manage to run wide on the exit, gathers up, brings it back on track, holds on to 1 position. At least that is Hill not far behind as well. We've got Thomas Nopek not looking back at all. Great view that he's got, and I was just about to say he's setting the timing boards alight, but not to be left out of that equation. Nikolai Polyakov, he's got himself up to 3rd place, so up 2 on the start. He's just taking the fastest lap. He's got himself a bit of a gap now to Zakdal. Not long got the overtake done there, but certainly showing him a fairly clean pair of heels, somewhat aided by John Beaton in the Aston Martin. These engines are incredible sounding. He now finds himself half a second behind Zakdal in the Mustang. Abramov Verona, 2 drivers that I did mention, right behind Sakun as well. Abramov could well be the man to watch here. He does find himself the 3rd driver in this little equation here. Hill, Thompson, Garvey and Artemenko also having themselves a solid battle for 13th place at the minute, with Hugo and the Ginetta still all over the back of Kolupiev. There's battles absolutely every place, as you would expect, and still a fairly compact group overall. Oh, and that's a big mistake there by Sakun. He's going to find himself very much the victim of an overtake here. He goes round the outside. Does Abramov? Is he going to make that stick? Not Abramov, sorry, Verona. It's Verona that makes that stick. Of course, we are on board with Abramov, and he does make a very nice move there indeed. And Abramov will certainly be chomping at the bit to get involved in some of that action as well. Sakun's certainly going to need to calm the heart rate ever so slightly. Get himself back into the rhythm again. Just behind this battle, in fact. Oh, Hugo in the pits from the top 20. Only 7 minutes into the race. Which I think definitely confirms that we're not going to see many tyre changes. It is on pit wall live, which I didn't quite manage to go open. I maybe should grab that so we can start getting some pit times from the drivers as well. Chris Gedman, good evening. Can he whack the sound of a Ginetta? Absolutely. Awfully jerky live feed, ignore it. My PC was having a moment. Oh wow, my heart was in my mouth there. I was going to say, please don't tell me this has been going all this time and it's all jerky. But yeah, I'm glad you managed to get it fixed. We are in glorious 2K as well, so and the old 5.1 surround. All the bells and whistles for some of the best racing that you're ever going to see on YouTube. You can absolutely guarantee that. 3/10 separate the championship leaders in the final race of the series. There is 5 points separating them at the top of the table, and scoring wise there is 5 points between what the drivers get between first and second. There is an additional point awarded for the fastest lap. So at the minute it's all in the hands of Thomas Nopek. Benjamin Eck needs to get ahead of Nopek by at least 1 position, and if it is only 1 position ahead of him, he needs to bring home the fastest lap as well. Enter Nikolai Polyakov in the Maserati. He is a big fan of podiums, he's a big fan of purple laps, and he's a big fan of very quick, consistent races. really throwing it onto that grass. Abramov looking for the overtake still. Sakun looking to soak up the pressure. Verona is off and up the road. So much going on. Let's check in with Melker Garvey. He has the FRL McLaren, looking very good indeed, but he does have Artemenko just behind him in the Alpine. It does sound so good. Sebastian Velt's in the BMW sim racing car. He finds himself being chased by Hill, who's got a second back to Thompson. Kuliviev, 18th position at the moment. You see how close he is getting on the way into the corkscrew. No front right wheel camera for these cars. That's massively disappointing. But we will crack on, as we will go and have a watch of a Manuelson down in 27th place. Let's get some of these drivers who are looking at this through the corkscrew. Absolute nose to tail. You'll love to see it. We're now seeing more drivers into the pits. Bieletsiev is in and out. Ramirez in the Aston Martin is on his way in. Wilson currently leading the drivers that have taken their pit stop. We'll see if that remains the status quo when Ramirez comes back out. Solid nose to tail here. And again, Lazarevic and Thompson now closely engaged with Hill. I think Hill's maybe had a minor issue because they are suddenly very close indeed. Good exit there by the Alpine. It's almost like the McLaren missed a gear there. Really bogged down and lurched almost. I'm not sure if he was taking a void in action. I don't think Hill, I mean, he potentially closed the door there, but certainly Lazarevic, goodness gracious me, my apologies Lazarevic, in the McLaren, definitely wasn't quite close enough to worry about contact there. Thompson though, he will not look a gift horse in the mouth, and he certainly will be sad to see that McLaren rear spoiler ever closer than it was a few corners to go. Oh, I am so bad behind the wheel of a GT4 car. I have the utmost of respect for the drivers that do drive them. Oh, Abramov is losing positions. Abramov is losing positions. Whatever happened didn't come up as an off-track incident, but he's lost 2 spots. Let's jump back and hope that we can see what's going on. Let me remember, and apologies to the sponsors. Yeah, let's have a look and see. Hopefully we can catch what went on. Was it a Rahal ending? No, so annoyingly the replay is going to stop just before we find out what happened. I think we'll all know what happened. There may be contact ahead, but while there's gravel and downhill, looks like they are both going to be able to continue to dance. So let's see how they get on. But certainly Abramov losing a couple of positions after a very good start. Speaking of very good starts, Chris Jones up 4 positions at the moment with Melker Garvey just behind him. Hasn't actually featured so far. He's kept his head down and kept the game plan absolutely solid. Let's put in some consistent laps. Find himself in 11th and not far behind Abramov. That is about to update to share with us. That is only on... Oh, and that's another big mistake. Abramov. Oh no, that's the Aston Martin. Is that Bugarin or Sakun? I'm very confused. My apologies, I've completely lost track of what car that is. That is a green Aston Martin, which for me could only be Sakun surely. But he is still firmly up the field. Yep, he's still in 7th. Bugarin isn't in a green Aston Martin. Thompson isn't in a green Aston Martin. Yeah, massively professional, Mr. Raven. Completely lost track of what car that is, but let's jump back on and get a rundown of who is where. Would anyone believe me if I said the top 2 were separated by 0.3 of a second still? Exactly. It's FRL. It's the type of racing we've come to know and love. No peg and egg. Battling it out for championship honours, and it is the 2 of them still leading the rest of the field. An incredible race the two of these are having. Polyakov 3.6 seconds behind, despite being the fastest man on track. He has got 2.6 back to Zakdal, who has got John Beaton still heavily breathing down his neck. Verona in 6th position. Now the good gap back to Sakunin. Zrike finds himself in the Mercedes in 8th position. Expect gratuitous chase cam on the back of that phenomenal sounding engine soon. Bugarin and Abramov rounding out the top 10. Abrahamov looking to undo the undoing of his opening good work. Jones, Garvey and Artemenko will certainly have something to say about that, because they are pretty close still. Felsenhill still inside the top 15 with Thompson and Lazarevic in 16th and 17th. Nigel Longden in the Audi finds himself in 19th, with Jay Redhead rounding out the top 20 again in the Merc. If I have not missed my mark, yeah, Luke Wilson is still the lead car out on track to have taken his pit stop, going for the Uber undercut in the 35-degree heat of Laguna Seca. 15 minutes into the race, 1/3 gone. 3 drivers have met their mandatory requirements. I think we'll have lost 3 as well. We'll start with 38. We have 35 out on track, so I think a couple have retired from the pits. Maybe a bit too much damage. Nigel Longden looks like he is vying for positions in the Audi. If we can find, oh wow. Another very close to, in fact, we get a good rear view mirror with these cars as well. You've absolutely got to love it. And under the bridge into turn number 6, you can see the differences between the car. Oh, and the McLaren's made a big mistake. Lazarevic is going to lose a position before he even gets to the braking zone. Yes, side by side, you can hear that engine roaring by. Let's see this one from above. No, helicam. Oh, and we've got cars going wild. The Audi Longden, massive penalty will be slapped on him there. Lazarevic finds his way off track as well, and Longden finds himself down in positions. Is that Redhead made up a spot? Yep, Khalil's got past Josh. Redhead has gotten through as well. The corkscrew knows no favouritism, that is for sure. Let's see if we can see another look at this. Helicam, thank you very much indeed. Ooh. So the car ahead actually got a good run and then lost its way on the way out. Too much time on the gravel, too much momentum lost. Oh, and there was contact there. You have to say Longden maybe a bit far over. I'm not sure how much further over Lazarevic could have quite got there, but the upshot of it is Redhead 18th position. Sami Kahl up a couple of positions as well in the Maserati. Tom Brunel still out on track, just behind, just ahead of Luke Wilson. You got to love a Michelin livery. Good looking cars. 2 Ginettas just ahead of him. Kucharenko and Borino find themselves now chasing down Lazarevic. It's going from bad to worse for Lazarevic. He's had a bit of a mistake there, and he's now got this battle encroaching on Longden. I think he's just lost. Oh no, has he just gained the position back? Oh no, he's lost the position. Krasnov's gone through as well, and I tell you, you might lose another one here as Kahl gets himself involved, and Lazarevic is right back in the hunt as well. Longden is losing time, hand over fist there. Oh, now is he maybe redirected? No. I just had the thought process. He's maybe trying to redress the position, but nope, he pops into the pits, and I tell you what, that's maybe very well timed indeed. Lazarevic right back in the hunt. A solid battle brewing on what would have been the rear spoiler of the Audi. And now these 4 will continue on. Longden will come in. We'll see where he comes out compared to Wilson. As, oh wow, that's a bit of a mistake there, bit of a misjudgment on the brakes. Does manage to avoid it in any other of the competitors. But Krasnov will certainly be, breathing a sigh of relief, and that is a push to pass manoeuvre there. Quick ice hockey one against the barriers. Gets the driver and the car out of the way and takes that position. Could well be frowned upon. We'll let the stewards worry about that though, as we jump back onto the battle between Eck and Nopek. I do like to make sure I jump about the whole field and watch all the battles going on, but the top two have been absolutely flawless. In fact, the top three, Polyakov might be 5 seconds behind, but he set the fastest lap so far. Oh, the tyre squeal there from Benjamin Eck trying to get himself through Andretti there. Oh, Chris Jones comes into the pits from 11th place. Let's see where he comes back out as well. Speaking of coming back out the pits, Luke Wilson is ahead of Nigel Longdon. Good progress by Wilson. He's going to be one to watch. Eck and Nopek definitely wants to watch. They're still gaining time on Polyakov in that Maserati. Mustang, McLaren, Maserati, Mustang. Chevrolet, sorry. My goodness me, I've been saying Mustang this whole time because of the front end, and it's a Chevy. Yeah, that's not slightly embarrassing, but there we go. Oh, and that's not even the car I was looking for. Yeah, Nopek still leading the way. Abramov now looking for more overtakes as Drake has got ahead of him. So Drake in the Merc. Oh, and they're going to battle straight back again. Abramov looking for the move on the exit of the Corsa, sends it down the inside, gets the position retaken again, back up to 8th place. Abramov, oh, he's going to have a bit of defending, and Drake comes straight back at him, and no wonder because the Mercedes, I was going to say he's massively under pressure, but Gagarin pulls himself into the pit. So that's a few drivers now before the halfway mark of the race. We are getting very close to the halfway mark, another 2 laps, and we'll be there. 13 laps so far for the race leaders. So we'll see where Gagarin comes back out of the pits. Another car exiting the pits. That is Tenorio, who's had a good start to the race. I believe 7 positions up on where he started. So we'll see where that shakes out for him. That is Sakun ahead. Still in the green Aston Martin. Still can't figure out who the other Aston Martin was. Benjamin Eck, wow, now 1.2 seconds behind. 4 times the size of the average gap so far. So Nopek now, I wonder if that'll change his pit strategy. Having this much of a gap now, does he decide to stay out a bit longer? We'll see what they decide to do and who pulls the trigger when. Wilson is still the lead car to have taken his pit, and I believe, is he ahead of Bugarin? He is. Bugarin just exiting the pits now. He's going to come out in 27th position, so Wilson looking for a very good spot. His tyres are going to be absolutely squealing by the end of the race, but he's definitely trending upwards in the positions. Currently down 8, but a lot of cars ahead still to take that pit. Drake and Garby both finding their way into the pits as we approach the halfway mark of the final round of the GT4 Mini Cup. Only 5 points separating the top 2. And we've also got Zakdal and Abramov in 3rd place, 3rd and 4th, but they're on the same points with the same results. So we'll see how those two get on. John Baton looking to hang on to 5th place in the championship, with Verona just behind him in the standings, and just behind him out on track. As I mentioned, Drake, Garby and Barino in the pits. This is the race leading and championship leading Thomas Nopek. Fastest man still Nikolai Polyakov with that 1 minute 29.030. Not too bad in the GT4 in 35-degree track conditions. Not the easiest on the tyres, that's for sure. Oh, he comes into the pits. Polyakov peels in from 3rd place. I did see, yeah, another overtake potentially brewing. Byron Thompson, another driver has had a very good start to the race, up 6 positions. Behind them, Redhead up 10, so too Kolupiev in 14th. Beaton and Sakun both into the pits as well. I wonder if the top 2 will decide to pull the trigger. I mean, he's already making his way through the traffic at the moment, so that certainly doesn't seem to be factoring into the strategy that Nopek is going for. Well, it looks like he is going to be sticking to whatever plan A is. It's working for him at the moment. That gap really stretching out now. Yeah, that's up to 2 seconds. Yeah, just over the 2-second mark now for the Chevy driver. He's got Benjamin Eck chasing him in the championship. Looking very good indeed. Go, 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 Super Kevin B. James Williams, good evening. How are we doing? Kevin B. It's amazing how much that puts me on the spot and I suddenly forget everyone's name. Who's Kevin B? We have had 3 drivers disconnect, unfortunately. So you may well be one of them, because yeah, am I missing something? Yeah, well, I've missed Benjamin Eck pulling in the pits. Verona and Abramov coming in as well. That's put Zakdal up into 2nd position. So let's see how long he stays out. Let's see what Nopek does. Will he answer back straight away? Artemenko comes into the pits, so just beyond the halfway mark. John Beaton and Nikolai Polyakov both out of the pits. Beaton is just ahead. So he's done well to get back out ahead of Polyakov, that is for sure. I wonder if Polyakov has taken tyres. Yeah, he was only in for about 3 seconds. Oh no, sorry, I'm saying only. Yeah, so potentially 3 seconds longer actually, Polyakov. With a mandatory 25-second stop for fuel, I'm not sure. Was he in there long enough to take on tyres as well? Actually, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was, so he's taken tyres, which is instantly, well, it's thrown my theory out the window. I didn't think we'd see much in the way of tyre change. Let's see if Polyakov, I mean, he's got to try something, to be fair. He was losing time to the top 2. Absolutely beautiful move up the inside there from Polyakov, bided his time, and that is what a fresh set of tyres will do for you, the Maserati driver. Oh, really hanging the back end out. That is how to have some fun and set some fastest laps there. The Maserati man getting the job done. John Beaton though, definitely still in the hunt for a top 5 finish if he's only just behind Polyakov. Thomas Nopek did come in to the pits and he's on his way back out. Benjamin Eck is behind Lazarenko and Zakdal's in the pits. He's going to be on his way out. David Hill is the on-track leader. On what? Drive-through for speeding in the pit lane. That has Tom Brunel. I thought that was the race leader. I actually thought that was the race leader just because of the timing there, but it's Tom Brunel in the Michelin machine that finds himself slapped on the wrist. He's got a drive-through penalty. Thomas Nopek still has the lead of the race and he has extended that gap now. Benjamin Eck was in for a fair bit longer, so I think he's changed tyres as well. So himself and Polyakov, again, he got nothing to lose. He was losing time to the driver ahead. If Fred, you're going to gamble on a fresh set of rubber, holding you in good stead in the closing stages, and that looks to be the play that Eck has gone for. Hill and Redhead, the on-track leaders at the moment. Did someone say engine sounds from the Mercedes? Oh, okay then. Just as he's coming into the pits. It's a fun pit entrance as well. This is what the driver have got to deal with. This is a very severe left-hand turn. Not to say it's caught me out more than once, but moving swiftly along. Nikolai Polyakov is still the swiftest driver out there with a 1:29.0. Still a 35-degree track temperature. We'll see if he can go any quicker. That will give him the point that Benjamin Eck could well rely on if he does manage to get the on-track lead. A race win here will tie the two at the top of the standings. Fastest lap worth a point. Eck with the fresh tyres could be going for both. He's 6.8 seconds down on the race leader. We'll see how that gap develops over the next few laps. Polyakov certainly showing a clean pair of heels to Beaton, who's also now been overtaken by Alex Zagdal, come back out of the pits in 4th place. So as I guesstimated, Beaton's still on for a solid top 5. David Hill of the Amigos car, he's on his way out. Redhead, Emmanuelson and Baharmanesh are all three into the pits. Lazarenko going to come out in a solid group of them. Let's see where Luke Wilson is. A couple of drivers popping in. Where has Luke Wilson gotten himself? There you go, 7th position. Luke Wilson up 10 places on his start. Now he is going to be a bit of a disadvantage to a couple of drivers ahead because we know they changed tyres. Even if he did change tyres, it was a long time ago he took that pit stop, but the Uber undercut has certainly worked for Luke. As I say, 10 places up since the start. That is not too shabby in this field of drivers, ahead of Abramov, Zakun and Bugarin rounding out the top 10 after the pit stop phase. In fact, yes, all the drivers have now pitted as we quickly move into the final third of the race. Jim Emmanuelson might be in the B team, but he's definitely in the A team when it comes to making up positions in the race. 14 spots Jim has made it up since the start of the race, and he is pretty close to Redhead in the Mercedes ahead of him. Will it be 15 for Emmanuelson? We'll keep an eye on that. Abramov down 5 places on the start, with Polyakov, the big gainer, up in the top 5, up 2 spots to find himself in 3rd place. He is 7.7 seconds behind Benjamin Eck, who is now 4.9 seconds behind Nopek, and he's just taken the fastest lap. He's just taken the fastest lap with less than 15 minutes to go to decide the championship. Benjamin Eck has done himself, well, he's gone for the gamble, and it may well pay off. He has taken the fastest lap. Now all he needs to do is get past Nopek and win the race, as he finds a bit more time. Nopek with 14 minutes to fend off the charge. Eck was losing time before the pit stop. He spent longer in the pits taking on the tyres, and that is paying him dividends at the moment. We've also got a battle brewing here as well. Jones and Artemenko. It's Alpine versus Audi. Let's have a listen to this one. It does sound very good. Yeah, we'll jump on the splitter cam for this one. We'll get some Janetta sounds in a minute, Chris. There is a battle brewing with a Janetta. We'll jump on board with Hugo. Oh, is Artemenko really opening up the entrance to the Andretti hairpin? He's got a good exit as well. And so that is going to be close. Hugo not too far behind. Yep, okay, we've been on that long enough. There is Nigel Long, got another very good sound in the car, the Audi, of course. Chasing down the Janetta of Krasnov, Carlin Tenerio. Tenerio with a good start to the race as well. He's up 2 positions on the start, so not massive gains, but certainly we're happy with that. Hill up 5. It was Krasnov that we were watching, of course, down 18 positions. After getting caught out. It was Nigel Longden that he is looking to fend off. Oh, and in the battle for the lead of the race, it is Benjamin Eck now within 3.5 seconds. And he is finding serious time. Yeah, there we go. 29.3, 29.0, 28.7. I mean, Nopek is running very consistently. His last 3 laps, 1 minute 30.1, 1 minute 30.4, and 1 minute 30.2. That consistency, though, not quite looking like it's going to be enough with Benjamin Eck now in the 1 minute 28. He's about down on his time. Nopek is about to get into the 29s potentially. He does have 1 minute 29.8, but that is still going to be, oh, yep, 5, 6 tenths slower than Benjamin Eck. He is closing that gap. Let's have a look and see what Sebastian Phelps is doing in a minute. Good evening, Darmar Davies. How are you, good sir? I hope you're enjoying the GT4 racing action. I'm not sure my voice is going to hold up for the entirety. It's been incredible, and it is still absolutely kicking off all the way through the track. A couple of back markers very respectfully getting out of the way, but it's taking us to some phenomenal positional overtakes here as Krasnov and Kucherenko, in fact, trying to get their way past Barrino. Oh, too wide on the way in. Oh, and he's almost lost it. He's going to lose the position as the car comes back through. That is Carl. Making his way up. Kucherenko now finds himself with Carl just behind him. Quite a few moves there by Carl. That's some solid driving. Hugo in the Ginetta did say we'd be back here soon for a potential overtake, and Hugo not one to disappoint. He's got Phelps in the BMW looking very much closer than he was a lap or two ago. Krasnov is still involved in some incredible action at the minute. Great race, great crumbs as usual, but thank you very much, Darren, massively appreciate it. When are you getting back on the mic is the important question. When have you been on? I spend that much time switched off between comms. I never know who's doing what, to be fair, but if you have been on, mate, let me know. Krasnov, oh, the Ginetta, very close. Kucherenko. Oh yeah, it's looking very good for an absolute grandstand finish, and Benjamin Eck is looking to provide the vast majority of the fireworks. The McLaren driver is absolutely dialed in. The consistency is insane. 1 minute 29.2, 1 minute 29.3, 1 minute 29.3. That is how you do great things. And again, this is how close it is. He's done over half the job, which was get 1 point for the fastest lap. That is absolutely vital. Otherwise, he's going to, if he does get past Nopek, he's going to be on exactly the same points, and it's all going to go on count back. Oh wow. Actually, yeah, I think that would then give Egg the win, because he would have 2 wins. Hoping to come back early next month and do a few races. Nice. Back early coming months. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, well, listen, if you're doing one, Darren, I'll jump on with you. Yeah, let's do one. Let's do a race together, mate. If I'm, yeah, as long as it's not a Sunday night or a Thursday night, give us a shout, bud. Because, yeah, I really enjoyed working with you, so let's do it again. Benjamin Eck. Oh, thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. It's good. You're Welsh, so you can understand the language as it's going very quickly. So you've definitely got an advantage. I'm sure the subtitles definitely struggle sometimes. Benjamin Eck looking to get his way past the 777 machine. I was going to say it's Barrino. Oh, massive gearing down there. Engine braking to the absolute max. Bit of a wobble on the outside. The gap still trending in his favour. Didn't quite gain as much as he did on the last few laps. But he is certainly closing in. We've got 7 minutes to go. It's 2.3 seconds. So he did lose a little bit of time there. He's got one more car to make his way past. Oh, and he's really throwing it into that corkscrew there. Needs to just, well, I was going to say needs to just keep it a bit calmer. That is maybe how you do that. Take that corner. It's why I commentate and these drivers drive, because I couldn't do that. Let's see what he does out of the final corner. Absolutely a ragdoll in the McLaren on the fresh tyres. He's going to get a much easier manoeuvre there over the start finish line to start lap number 25 through turn number 1. He has now got clear sight of the Chevy ahead of him. Game on. 2.1 seconds is now the cap, and again you can hear those tyres absolutely squealing as Eck mercilessly chases down Thomas Knopek, the championship leader ahead of him. And Knopek, there is the view he has. That yellow and black bumblebee buzzing about in the background is going to get bigger lap on lap. Does Eck, does Knopek have the tyres to defend? That is the question we've got to ask ourselves here, and more questions being asked just down the order as Abramov looking to gain back another position at the expense of Wilson. Again, Wilson up 10 places on his start, Abramov down 5, so even if Wilson did lose the position here to Abramov, it's still 9 positions, but hey, 10 places gained is definitely a lot better than 9, so Wilson, I'm sure he'll be looking to put up a bit of a defence to hold on, although he might not get a choice here. The McLaren looking very quick indeed, almost of the move round the outside of turn 6. Have you ever seen the likes? Yet many have tried, all have failed. Into the corkscrew, it's Wilson holding on to 7th position. Benjamin Eck holding on to dreams of a championship win with a 1.4 second gap now to the race lead. We'll end it in Christmas fun race to break back into it. Nice. Thank you. You always, it's such a pleasure. You're such a good man. Darn, I appreciate that. I mean, don't tell me though. It's a secret. I'm a meanie really, deep down inside. Nobody's believing that. Nobody is believing that. Is anybody believing that the top 2 are now separated by 1 second with 5 minutes left to go? Oh, look at the eggs out at the last corner. The McLaren doing all the running into the Andretti hairpin. Is he going to go for the big old cutback? The Burger King machine is still in 7th position. This is going to be an incredible battle right down to the end. So too, oh, what? Knopek. Oh, we've got a yellow flag for Knopek. Something's happened to Knopek. He's lost a bit of time. Oh, I could watch the replay, but they're so close with a whole lot of back markers and a whole lot more rubber on the tyres of Benjamin Eck at the minute. Oh, as you can see, one of the back markers getting away. Oh, and he's almost come over and made contact there. That is a full code brown there for Benjamin Eck. He is going to be more than grateful that he changed tyres, even if he doesn't bring home the race win. At that moment there, oh, Saudi moves back over, so close between the two of them front. Oh, and it's made contact. They've made contact. Thomas Knopek now has an extra lap to survive the advances of Benjamin Eck. Contact made between Egg, the Audi just getting kicked off the curb there. A lack of grip more than anything else, and that has put a big gap between the two of them. Now they got back to over a second. Incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible stuff. Let's see if we can see what happened to Knopek. Wow, so much going on. Okay, so quick replay. So he's rocked up on a 5-way battle. He's rocked up on the back of two-way battles. Oh, and he's just been trying to find his way through. Oh, and the Maserati, the back end's let go. Knopek's doing a big contact on the front end. The Chevy has managed to power on through. Oh, and that's a big run wide as well. There we go. We've got more cars going full Fast and the Furious off into the gravel. Incredible scenes in the closing stages. As we get Benjamin Eck once again. His prey is in sight. He's got 2 minutes and 42 seconds left to bring this one home. Job one done. Fastest lap. He needs the 5 points for the race winner. It's all for naught. The battle was absolutely on the cards, and in a wayward Audi has kept Thomas Knopek free of X advances for the moment. And we're going to see that gap tumble down. Does he now have enough time to get close enough? Given the rate that he was catching, this might just be a little too much. Yeah, 1.4. Oh wow, 130.2. He's going to need Nopek to really struggle in the next few laps. Goes full deep into the Andretti. Let's see how Abramov and Wilson are getting on. They are still absolutely nose to tail. So too Hugo. Why can't I see him on the standings? Because a couple of the drivers have just kind of popped out and in again on the standing. There we go. That is, sorry, my apologies, that's Thomas. There's Hugo there. He is still chasing down the BMW, so Phelps has put up a solid defensive display. We've still got 35 drivers out on track. Dan Ramirez bringing up the rear with Moody in 34th. Tom Brunel speeding in the pit lane. 33rd position. Kowalski, Mark Stewart and Lazarevic massively down the order since his start, with Carl just ahead of him. Nigel Longdon, the unfortunate Audi that found himself exited stage left from the curbing, finding himself in 28th position, just behind Tenerio. I was going to try and run down the whole of the field, but these two are getting very close, and Abramov certainly getting some itchy feet just behind Wilson. Wilson doing a valiant job fending him off at the minute. Hugo now within 0.3 of a second as well. Leader is on the final lap, and that contact with the Audi has been just enough to see X advances fall by the wayside. Thomas Nopek would have been very aware of X charge there. That tyre change, absolutely on point strategy. But when you've got over 30 cars at Laguna Seca, racing will very much happen. And Benjamin Eck on the unfortunate receiving end of a bit of contact as he was trying to catch the race leader, and that is going to be what separates the two of them. Oh, for the finest of margins over the top here. What a 3-race championship has been, and given the turnout, I don't imagine it'll be long before we see another one. I'm certainly here for it. Again, if it's not on a Thursday or a Wednesday, Thursday or a Sunday, give me a shout, because I'm absolutely here for this level of racing. Nopek through the corkscrew for the final time of asking. 30 laps of near perfection. A slight contact with a Maserati threatened to throw a serious spanner in the works, but Nopek had no mood for any monkey wrenches in his race. He comes round the last corner and he is going to take a very well deserved checkered flag. Donington's older, and Laguna Seca now joins him in the rear view mirror, and it is Thomas Nopek that brings home his second win of the season and the overall championship as well. Benjamin Eck, what a race, did absolutely everything right. Took the tyre change, threw the dice, went for the gamble. It was paying off, and oh, but for the cruelest of luck, didn't get his chance to try the overtake on Nopek. Got the bonus point for the fastest lap. Scant consolation, I would imagine, but yeah, he will hold his head up high. What a season. Nikolai Polyakov, I did say he would be looking good for a podium today. He delivers with Alex Akdal in 4th, John Beaton in 5th. Verona crosses the line in 6th with Luke Wilson hanging on to that 7th position. And that is a beautiful slide there in the Alpine from Wilson. Thank you very much for that, Luke. Abramov in 8th, Sakun in 9th, and Bugarin rounding out the top 10. Garbin's and Artemenko 11th, 12th and 13th position. With Hill and Jones rounding out the top 15. Phelps Thompson and Kolupiev in 17th, 18th and 19th, and Redhead in 20th position. Barino and Kucherenko 20th and 21st. The drivers having some fun down the track. And there we go. Let me just quickly grab the highlights, of which we will show in full. So make sure you don't go any place when I finally do stop talking at 300 miles an hour. What a race that was. How far did we get down the standings? Because yeah, I'm completely lost at the minute. That was incredible. You'd expect nothing else at FRL. Didn't even mention, my apologies, there's upcoming seasons. I would apologise for not mentioning these, but the drivers made it absolutely impossible to take our eyes off the screen. So here is some upcoming highlights, upcoming events. The highlights are coming up. Here's some events. Raven.exe not responding. Factory reset recommended. Jump yourself on to the SimGrid. There is a link in the chat to get onto the FRL host page. Largest sim racing providers on the platform. No mean feat and massively well deserved, it has to be said. Let us take this off and gratuitously watch the race winner. From there, you can of course get the link to Discord. Get yourself signed up, get yourself involved. And yeah, make sure you share these streams as well. Racing this good absolutely deserves to be shared everywhere. So while those are on, in fact, I think I can bring... it's almost like I prepared for it. So there we go. We'll pop that down a bit. But yeah, there is the upcoming championships. You can get yourself on SimGrid. Get signed up. Why would you not? And massive thank you to everyone that has subscribed and followed the YouTube channel. It has been a meteoric rise since its inception, and massively well deserved as well. Huge thank you to everyone that's taken part in tonight's race and championship. And again, if FRL, yeah, they will be launching another one of these, I would have thought, given the incredible turnout. So huge thank you to all the GT4 drivers. I may not enjoy driving them, but my goodness me, do they put on a show. Thank you to everyone that's been in the chat this evening as well. Chris Gedman, James Williams, Darren Davies, all in there. Barbecue Possum, that's Luke Wilson. 10 positions gain, Luke. I doff my cap to thee, good sir. In fact, I'm going to give you driver of the day. So congratulate, because obviously that is the most important thing. Yeah, I said absolutely no driver ever. But there we go. So yeah, huge thank you. Great commentary as usual. Thank you for streaming. It was fun to listen during along the race. That is incredible that you're able to do that. Oh, and there we go. It was at this point he knew he popped the wrong one in. My apologies. Let me just fix that. Ah, there we go. Excellent, excellent, excellent. That is a consolation victory at least. There we go, excellent. Right, I really do need to go lie down in a darkened room and get myself rehydrated, but what an incredible race. Again, thank you to everyone that's taken part, that's been in the chat, and thank you to FRL for organising these absolutely incredible races. We will leave you with 14 minutes of absolutely spectacular highlights, and I will be back here next week for a one-off event, so make sure you get yourself hitting that subscribe button, hit the like as well. Thank you very much, and we will see you at the same time next week for some GT3 racing. Until then, enjoy the highlights, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.